Welcome to the Verizon postgame show. Thank first responders at allourthanks.com.
The unrelenting defensive pressure of the New England Patriots on the Rams, and then the magic of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick getting it done and capturing their 6th Super Bowl with that victory, 13-3 over the Rams. And tonight on CBS begins with the premiere of The World's Best, hosted by James Corden. That'll be followed by your local news. Then it's a special late show with Stephen Colbert with guests Conan O'Brien, James Taylor, and surprise special guests. That's all coming up tonight here on CBS as we welcome you back to our concourse setting here on Super Bowl 53. Full house indeed. Coach, talk about that theme there.
You know, this was an old school football game, guys. It was a physicality. Who would blink? Who would be able to sustain the focus? And you sat there back and forth with the kicking game, and really comes down to Tom Brady making one drive. And you know what? They did it the old-fashioned way. We saw them doing this as it was going down the line.
Well, it was fun to watch. Loved the tension in a low-scoring, close game. The Rams defense, the New England defense, it was great. It was a great game plan. They put more speed on the field. It handled the Rams, and the Rams waited too long to double Julian Edelman.
That's right, Julian Edelman. Listen, they say that a dog is a man's best friend. The biggest dog on the field was Tom Brady's best friend. Julian Edelman is no question a Hall of Famer. What a game.
Thank you very much. Gronk and Edelman both had combined 16 catches. But how about the plays by Duron Harmon and Jason McCourty in the end zone that kept the Rams out of the end zone? Those were 2 huge defensive plays for the New England Patriots.
Nate, you have said that all season long, and boy, did he substantiate it in this game. Still to come, the Vince Lombardi Trophy presentation to the champions.
The New England Patriots are Super Bowl champions. Gear up with the official Super Bowl trophy collection. Available now at NFLshop.com. Get your commemorative men's and women's Super Bowl 53 championship t-shirts, jacket, and official hat. The same ones the players wear on the field as they hoist the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Don't miss out. Shop now and get free shipping. NFLshop.com.
Any way you slice it, that was a defensive masterpiece. I know Bill Cowher's talked about all along. Give the defense some credit. But, Nate, let me come back to you and Boomer, because you guys are pretty emphatic about this throughout the season. Julian Edelman, so much debate about where he belongs in the scheme of things. And you guys are saying what?
That he's a Hall of Famer. He sits behind Jerry Rice with postseason catches at 115. And for those who want to make the argument, well, you know, Julian Edelman doesn't put up major numbers in a regular season. He plays for the New England Patriots. He's not going to put up 1,500 yards as a #1 wideout. What he does, he comes up in the biggest of moments, Bo.
JB, Nate would know better than anybody, right? So last week or 2 weeks ago after the Kansas City Chiefs games, I wondered aloud if he was a Hall of Famer. And I make the argument that he is because he always comes up big in the big spot. And, of course, everybody flexing their Twitter muscles had an argument against what I was saying.
Right.
And I'm telling you, here he comes tonight. He comes up huge, just like the Patriot defense did.
You know, talking about MVPs, Edelman, how about Stephon Gilmore?
Oh.
He was over Brandon Cooks all night long. When you talk about that defense, the pressure they had, I'll tell you what, the MVP is that defense and that offensive line of the New England Patriots.
Can't wait to hear Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback Phil Simms weigh in when we come back. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Bud Light. And a reminder, tonight on CBS begins with the premiere of The World's Best, hosted by James Corden. That'll be followed by your local news. Then it's a special late show with Stephen Colbert with guests Conan O'Brien, James Taylor, and surprise special guests. That's tonight only on CBS. All right, folks, time now to go down to the field for the presentation of the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome two-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots, Vince Wilfork, and the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Bowl III MVP performance, Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath.
You guys touch it first.
Robert, 17 years ago, the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. This now makes 6 of these trophies that the Patriots have, and 3 out of the last 5. Congratulations to you and Jonathan. Incredible organization, your great players and coaches. The Patriots are Super Bowl champs once again.
Patriots fans, this is your 6th championship in the last 18 years. Truly an unprecedented accomplishment, really managed by exceptional players and coaches to whom all of us forever grateful. But there is one constant throughout this whole 18 years. 2 men who are the best at what ever has been done in the history of the NFL. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And through their hard work and great leadership, I am honored to say for the 6th time, we are all Patriots, and once again, the Patriots are world champions.
Congratulations, Robert, Jonathan, Danny, the Kraft family. Coach Belichick, come on in here.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Jim.
I know that Lombardi trophy is right behind you here, but you got something special also in your arms right now.
I sure do. She is special. But, you know, this is just a great day for our football team. Obviously, Mr. Kraft put this all together, but it's all about the players. These guys work so hard all year. They just competed every week, and they competed today like champions. They played like champions.
How did you come up with a game plan like that to stop the Rams' high-powered offense?
Well, it's tough. They're a great football team. They're very well coached. I mean, it's really about the players. They made the plays. They stopped the run. They tackled the quarterback. They covered the receivers. We covered kicks, and we moved the ball, made plays when we had to.
How sweet is this one of all the ones you've had?
It's sweet. It's sweet, Jim. Everybody counted us out from the beginning of the season to mid-season, but we're still here.
And who you got here, Bill?
Blakely, say hi.
His granddaughter. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
Bill Belichick.
Hey.
Tom Brady, come on over here.
How you doing, buddy? How you doing, big guy? No, not you. No, not you. That's a great...
Hey, your little girl always says at the end of the games, Dad, could you hear me out there on the field? I was saying, go, Daddy, go. Could you hear her today?
I heard her today. What a game, and just so proud of our team. I mean, the support here tonight was like a home game. We could have been at Gillette Stadium. And we can't thank you guys enough for the incredible support all year. And I know everyone back home is going to have a nice late night tonight. And I think we might have a parade on Tuesday or something like that. So
very possible. I think you can count on it. Hey, Tracy asked you, would you come back again? And you said yes. And for all of those fans out there, what will motivate you to come back? How will you reset and do it all over again?
Look at this. How could this not motivate you? Is what it's all about. And to have this little girl here, this little boy, and my other boys around here, and for my boy right there.
You call him
you said, my little brother.
Yeah, you said you never had a little brother, but if you had one, it'd be Julian Edelman. Guess what? He's the MVP.
He deserves it. That was one of the best games he ever played.
Come on over here, Julian. Congratulations, Tom. Julian, did you know coming into the game that you could have a performance like that?
I wasn't focused on that. I was just trying to go out and have a good week of practice and do my job. And, you know, sometimes the cookie crumbles that way.
How much does it mean to you to win another Super Bowl title and on top of it to be the most valuable player?
It just matters that we won, man. It was a crazy year. We had a resilient bunch of guys. It was unreal, man. I mean, it was like a home game here. We love you guys here. It was awesome.
Congratulations, Julian.
I appreciate it.
Most valuable player, Julian Edelman. And the Patriots have taken yet another Lombardi trophy. Julian, take it with you. Share it with your teammates. I'm going to send it off to my teammate, the great James Brown.
Hey, Jim, and as we listen to those remarks by Patriots leaders, we understand why that template of success has been so successful. The Verizon postgame show continues after this.
Here we go.
Super Bowl. Let's have a day, Jim. And this is why the Rams can really wreck the game. Fantastic clothesline. This is a Bill Belichick special.
He's been the biggest offensive star of this first half. He has more punts than Gurley has carries. Here we go, 15 minutes to play in Atlanta. Down the middle they go. Who else? Edelman. Down the field they go! Gronkowski has it! First play in the red zone. Running it for the touchdown! To the end zone, and it's intercepted at the 3-yard line. 10 points in the quarter for New England.
6 titles, 9 appearances.
And there it is. The dynasty continues.
Welcome to the Verizon postgame show. Thank first responders at allourthanks.com.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Verizon postgame show as we talk again about the Patriots getting it done in sensational fashion, which is just sterling, steady, and consistent. We are welcoming you to the postgame show here on CBS Sports Network, coming to you live from Atlanta, back here at our Plaza set. James Brown along with Phil, Coach, and Nate. And as we set again the stage for what the Patriots did, I remember you said you changed your pick, and it was because.
I changed my pick because I believed in so much of what the Rams were selling. A lot of Sean McVay telling these guys that they were the best in the world. But then they faced the Patriots. And in the moments that matter, that final drive by Tom Brady and the Patriots, Julian Edelman, Gronk, Sony Michel, showed the diversity. I mean, they stuck to the script that we thought they would stick to. And the reason that I was wrong was the reason that I'm always wrong. And we always do the heavy lifting and say, this is going to be the year that Tom Brady looks old. This is going to be the year that they start to disintegrate. It's not the case.
No, but give the Rams some credit because, I mean, look at the defensive battle that they did put on out there and how close the game was.
They definitely did. They put on defensive battle, and, Coach, this was an old-school defensive game. But Tom Brady, he did what he did, final moments of the game, and that was big-time playmaking.
You know, a lot of that has to do with having been there before. You sit there and talk about it. They have been there before. Their third consecutive Super Bowl. And for Sean McVay, you know, I felt like offensively they never really got into some of the trickery and some of the things misdirection-wise. They kind of tried to stay close to the script, almost afraid to make a mistake. And sometimes this game will do that to you. You kind of get paralysis by analysis. You start to do that. You find yourself not throwing the ball in first down, not not going with a hurry-up huddle. Sometimes you outthink yourself when you have 2 weeks of work, and I think that's the one thing that Bill Belichick, and you know him as well as I do, Phil, he's very good about keeping this game. Yes, it's not normal, but he keeps normality in the routine. He understands how you got there, and he's able to play that game of patience where, you know what, it's who's the first one to blink, right?
Well, yeah, he's coached all these years, and he never gets tired of coaching or nothing about it. You know that. I know that. You know, a couple things. Jared Goff and the New England Patriots, their blitz during the playoffs, I don't know this for a fact, but I think when they blitzed, it worked every single time.
Right.
And it won the game for them here tonight. They blitzed all out. Jared Goff threw it quick. Stephon Gilmore makes the interception. Brandon Cooks wasn't ready. He didn't see the blitz. And then on the offensive side, look, the Patriots were searching all night. They couldn't find what to do.
Right.
And then what do they do on the drive that they score to go ahead? They use regular personnel. They spread it out. And we were right here. It happened right in front of us. We saw the Rams couldn't line up, and they were a second late. And who catches the ball? The big Gronk.
The big fella.
That was it. And that's really, but I guarantee you Josh McDaniels is over there looking at that play sheet all night going, what the heck, what we, because that playlist is forever. And the schemes are a lot. But it took them to the end of the game to find one that really worked for them.
And speaking of Gronkowski, take a look at what he did. One of the dependable weapons as far as the Patriots are concerned.
You know, there's been this narrative all season that Rob Gronkowski has fallen apart. There's been times where his elbow brace was actually falling out of place when he was out there on the field. But in the moments that matter, look at the targets. 7 targets and 6 catches.
And you talk about the tech targets, but you know what? What Rob Gronkowski did in this playoffs, to me, was more about his blocking. Him and James Devlin, because you know what? When it came down to it, Sony Michel, their #1 pick this year, he was the guy that actually was the one piece, to me, that put them over the top. He gave them a toughness in their running game. Gronk blocked in the playoffs. And James Devlin, Matthew Slater, these are two guys. Matthew Slater, how many times he's down the ball inside the 10, making a
the little things,
on
Coach.
the punt.
The little things.
It's the 3 elements of the game: running, offense, defense, and special teams.
And it takes a coach to get inside of the numbers and talk about the other things that he did well, and that is exactly what Gronk did. And moments ago, he caught up with our Tracy Wolfson.
We're here with Rob Gronkowski, and Rob, you're watching up there another Super Bowl championship.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, no, this is surreal. I mean, the dedication, the work, the whole team put in, the whole organization. We can't even speak on the volumes of how we stuck together, how we put in the work day in, day out, morning, nighttime. We did everything we had to do, stuck together as a team, stuck together as a family, and we pulled it off. We did it, and it was the biggest team win I've ever been a part of throughout my whole season. It's just surreal. Everyone played great. Everyone did their job, and we're champions again.
You call it the biggest team win. Why was it such a struggle out there? And when do you feel like you finally were able to turn things around?
We found our identity this year, and that was to grind it out. Just grind it out. Make the other teams tired. Just keep on going. Just run the ball, run the ball. Defense plays great, make stops. And we came together, and we did it, and it's just unbelievable.
And finally, if this is a way to go out for you, what an unbelievable way it would be. Are you ready to call it a career?
Yes, it would be an unbelievable way to go out, but it's not about that tonight. It's about celebrating with my teammates, and then I'll sit back, relax over the next week or two and see where I'm at. But tonight's about celebrating with my teammates.
Go enjoy this win. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We're from the Today Show.
Well, Gronk's comment pays off with Bill Cowher said they found their identity, and it was to grind it out. They did just that. The Verizon postgame show continues after this. Back here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the Verizon postgame show, we're going to take it down field side now and catch up with our co-host, Ian Eagle.
All right, JB, joined right now by Booba Esiason and the 10-year veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion. You like that ring? It's Patrick Chung here on the field. Patrick, the emotions, we're going to get into, obviously, what happened during the game, but the totality of this season, a season that was dominated by offense around the NFL. You guys do it with your defense here tonight.
Yeah, man.
we're resilient, man. You know, people talk about us, say what they want to say, but we grinded out, man. We grinded out, and you know, just kept getting better. We gelled, and you know, we came out on top.
Yo, Patrick, we have a defensive highlight package for you. If you just take a look at our monitors right here, you guys seem like you're one step ahead of the Rams all day long. You were all over Jared Goff. Was there anything that you knew about him coming into the game that gave you the confidence to pull it off like this?
We had to get to him. We had to get pressure to him. I mean, if he's back there by himself, no pressure, he's pretty damn good. You know, so our D-line, man, I told him before the game, D-line's going to win this game.
It's amazing because so many people talked about the opposing defensive line, Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, Brockers. We all know how good they are. And, of course, Ndamukong Suh came over from the Miami Dolphins, so we knew you guys really well. But your defensive line put the pressure on the opposing quarterback and set the tone all night long.
Absolutely. I told him before the game, we all got to play good. But if you guys play good, the game's over. You stop the run, you get to Goff, and you guys win the game. So thank you, D-line. I love you guys because you guys did this, man. You took care of it. So I appreciate it. All love, baby.
Truly, there is a bond. There is a chemistry on this team with this franchise. You have been a common thread through the greatness. For you, the emotions that go into playing this game, we understand that. To do it on this team, to do it in this way, the Patriot way, just try to put into context what that means to you.
It's a lot of groundhog days, a lot of grinding, long hours, you know, just hard work, man, you know, breaking bones.
Yes.
Literally.
Tearing muscles, you know, getting criticized, but, you know, we keep working. You know, Bill puts that inside of us, man. Keep working, forget what anyone's saying, and just continue to get better. You know, that's what we do.
You know, it's amazing. You're sitting here with a broken arm. I mean, I had a teammate, Tim Crumry, who broke his leg in Super Bowl 23, and he waited until the game was over before he left the stadium. Unfortunately, we lost, but you won. So tell us about the arm. Do you remember the play, actually, where you broke it?
Yeah, I do. Gurley went into the right, and I went to tackle him. I don't know who hit me.
I think it was Deron Harmon who was on top. Maybe it wasn't him. It might have been one of the McCourty brothers. I'm not sure. I don't want to tell anybody.
Hey, it doesn't matter. It sucks. It's fine. I mean, we won, so I'm happy. But at least I know my guys are flying around, you know, and I love them. They love me. They tell me I love them, bro. I tell them all the time, bro, we're a family. We're going to win and lose like a family, you know, so I don't care. Fine, kamikaze, whatever. Just win the game.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you, guys.
Easy with that.
No. It was a soft touch.
Yeah, bro, don't touch me.
Congratulations,
Thank you, guys.
The
Appreciate
celebration continues here in Atlanta for the New England Patriots. History made once again. 6 Super Bowl titles. Much more still to come on the Verizon postgame.
The Verizon postgame show is sponsored by the team that wouldn't be here. Airing tomorrow at 9 p.m. on CBS Sports Network.
The Dynasty, 25th anniversary of the purchase of the New England Patriots by Robert Kraft. 25 years and excellence throughout. 6 Super Bowl titles. Iron Eagle Boomer Esiason. And we are joined by the man himself, Robert Kraft. Congratulations. They're all special. Patriot Nation is here.
Patriot Nation is awesome.
It feels like an
They're
extension of Boston right now, right here.
You know, when we bought the team had never sold out in 34 years. And I asked people to go buy tickets. And the next day after I bought them, 6,000 of these people lined up in the snow. And they've been with us the whole time. Love you guys.
Now, Bob, you know what they're yelling to you, right? We want 7. We want 7. They don't even want to celebrate this one. They want another one. But, you know, interestingly enough, you also made a decision to hire Bill Belichick. I think tonight up on stage with Jim Nantz, you basically said it so eloquently that you have 2 guys that are the best at what they do in the NFL. One being the coach, the other being the quarterback. But you handed the reins over to Bill Belichick, and what a decision that was.
Well, you remember when I did it, not everybody thought it was the wisest decision, but I always go with my gut instinct, and I had seen him in '96. and we went to the Super Bowl. He did a great job with the defense, and I think the greatest trade in the history of the NFL is me giving the Jets a 1 to get him.
Well, you got him, and not only did he bring you 6 Super Bowls, he also drafted Tom Brady with the 199th pick of that draft, and what a run this has been. I mean, he's 41 years old. He says he's coming back next year. Do you believe him?
Absolutely. If he doesn't, I'm going to drive to his house and drive him to work every day. Look, we've gone to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls, and we've won 2 of the last 3. Hello?
It doesn't get much better than that, I know.
Bob, this is a family. We understand that. With Tom Brady, he's like a son to you. That's the relationship that you have.
We have a great relationship, and he's such a classy guy. He's the same as he was when he joined us in the year 2000. He hasn't changed. He's genuine, he's humble, and he works. No one works harder than he does.
Well, he said he leads by example. There is no question about that. But tonight, we saw a defensive performance that was one of the greatest defensive performances we've ever seen in the Super Bowl. Yeah, by your defense. So I want to give props to the defense, because we always talk about Grady and Gronk and Belichick and everybody else, but this defense showed up tonight in a big way.
So I didn't know if you're saying the Miami Dolphins made a wise decision. Is that what you're saying?
That's going to be for tomorrow. Yes. Some of that news that comes out. Brian Flores.
No, it was a great team effort, and what they did I don't know, not that we get involved in prop bets, but I understand the over-under was 57 points.
Really? Really? I didn't know that. Oh.
No, one of my guests told me that, so it's really unbelievable.
Well, hopefully your guest left happy. I know you guys left happy. I know Tom Brady is happy. I know Patriot Nation is happy. And I'll tell you what, congratulations. We look forward to you guys trying to do it again next year.
We'll do our best. Thank you,
Bob. Thank you so much.
10 Super Bowl appearances under Robert Kraft, 6 wins, 18 division titles, greatness personified with the New England Patriots. Another Super Bowl championship. Back with more in Atlanta after this.
And welcome back to the Verizon Post-Game Show here on CBS Sports Network. Folks, time now for the Verizon Player of the Game. And, of course, it's Julian Edelman of the Patriots.
And Julian Edelman played big as we expected him to play. You know, what he did in this game was what we're used to seeing of him in the postseason. When you're looking at some of the route running ability, here he is, running the corner route, making moves. Here it is, outside release. He gets outside of Aqib Talib. Watch this route right here. He runs a banana route, which means faking the crosser and then spins right back outside. Coach, you know how difficult that is to guard. They never had an answer for him. Whenever they played zone, he found the spaces. When they tried to bracket, he busted in between. And when they went man-to-man, he came up big. Pay attention to the targets. They threw the ball to him 12 times. He came down with 10 of those for $141. I know people are lighting me up on Twitter saying, hey, how could you say that he's a Hall of Famer? It's funny because people don't want to look at both sides of the coin. They'll say that Julian Edelman is a product of his environment. Well, if he's a product of his environment, why don't you admit the fact that as a number 1 wide receiver, he doesn't need to put up 1,500 yards every season. But what makes him a Hall of Famer in my eyes is when the postseason comes around, and granted, I get it, it's the Patriots, they get there more often. He is one of the most clutch wide receivers I have ever seen. Just check the numbers.
And I'll tell you what, he does it consistently year in and year out, and you're right. He makes the big plays at the big time. But I'm going to go back on the other side of the ball defensively. When you think about this defense, their last 2 games, they have gone against the 2 top offenses in the National Football League, that being the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams. They shut both those offenses out in the first half of both these games. They have not played from behind at this New England offense. So I'm telling you what, a lot of kudos goes to this defense. Brian Flores is going down to Miami. Bill Belichick, he'll find a way to replace him, as he always does. But you know what? There's this other side of it, too. Special teams. Matthew Slater. Phil, we always talk about who's the 2 guys you know are going to make this team every year. Matthew Slater and James Devlin.
They're going to make it.
Because you know what? You got to have role players, not just role players that just, they embrace that role, and they play it to the best that they can. And he's got a bunch of people on his team that embrace the concept, you know what, of getting better, do my rule. If we just keep getting better, you saw Patrick Chung talk about this defensive line. It is a very close-knit team. It kind of like there's a sentiment within these teams. They are woven together.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick, he has created this kind of culture in New England.
Well, you say all that about role players, and here we go. Last week they placed somebody against Tyreek Hill that I hadn't seen all year long. Croson, and I said, well, he played because he was the fastest guy and he fit a role. And tonight, I bragged about this New England secondary all week long, and tonight they start 2 new starters. Yeah. I'm like, well, I thought it was great, but I guess I was wrong, but they were great tonight.
Yeah.
And this too. Bill Belichick, when he won that first Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams, I think he went and just went, wow, I can't believe we won a Super Bowl with this team. But when you look at this team right now, let's be honest, this has got to be one of the best coaching jobs he's done in his career.
I said that to him when I saw him earlier in the week. I said, Bill, you've done this thing with smoke and mirrors. These guys are playing better than they really are.
Yes.
And they just continue to play that way tonight.
And you know what? There's something else that's always a given. You talked about Matthew Slater. Not only is he a cerebral player, not only is he effective, he's one of the best guys of quality and character and integrity.
Yep.
And he is down field side with our guys, Ian Eagle and Boomer Esiason.
And he is also the king of the coin toss as well. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, an Anaheim kid, 7 Pro Bowls. This never gets old, ever.
No, it never does. It's pretty surreal. We've been so blessed as an organization to have the success that we've had over the years. We're just so humbled and thankful for such a special night, such a special time. What a great group of guys.
Matthew, your dad, Jackie Slater, a former great Ram Hall of Famer, always called heads when he was out there for the coin toss. You won me $1,000, by the way, at the beginning of the game, because I knew you were going to call heads. But at the end of the day, have you heard from him yet?
We got a chance to visit after the game, and I know this had to be a weird game for him to watch.
No, blood's thicker than, come on
absolutely.
now.
My dad's always had my back. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the man I am. I wouldn't have the family that I have without my father. So I'm so thankful for his support, not only today, but over the entirety of my life. I'm so fortunate to have a dad like that who loves me and is so much bigger than football.
I'll tell you what, they raised a heck of a son. You just heard Coach Cowher talking about Bill Belichick, how he's crafted a team, how you guys are a family. And I always hear him say, do your job, do your job. And your job basically is to be the captain of the special teams part of your team. And today there were 14 total punts in this game. You were on the field a lot for your team. It was a field position game. What is that like, being just that kind of guy for your football team?
Well, I'm just thankful for my opportunity. Coach Belichick saw something in me a long time ago that not a lot of people saw, and he's given me an opportunity to be a part of a great team, a great organization. So I'm just so thankful for the whole experience. Happy to play my role.
Matthew, we wish you the very best.
So
congratulations once again. You are quite the player.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Matthew Slater. Special teams, as we know. There's Tom Brady's dad, Mr. Brady, to Matthew Slater. Tom Brady Sr. joining us here on the set. You live through this moment time and time again with your son, the special quality that he brings to this team. Yet you've got to live through it, the roller coaster ride, in your position. What was this one like?
We came into the fourth quarter, and I wasn't particularly nervous. I mean, this is our time. By the way, we got to celebrate, huh?
More confetti.
We've got to celebrate. But it was just, we've been pretty thankful that he's gotten this far, and then all of a sudden we get into the fourth quarter, and this is usually our time. I mean, the Bronx, unbelievable. Julian, our running attack, it's just very special.
You know what? He saved his best for last tonight, because I thought he grinded through the first half. A lot of credit goes to the Rams defense.
Oh, they're studs.
There was a hornet's nest up there between the defensive line of the Rams and the offensive line of the Patriots. I don't think people realize just how difficult it is to try to move the ball against Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. But late in the game, for some reason, your son has the ability to play like it's in the backyard, and everything seems to be calm for him.
Yeah, well, and being very honest about it, our emphasis the latter part of the year after we lost Josh Gordon had to be kind of a short pass, crossing pattern. We didn't have the deep threat that you could loosen them up with, and as a result, we just did what we were able to do, and they do it so well. It's a timing offense. It's not unlike the West Coast offense to a certain extent.
It's precise, it's meticulous, and I'll tell you, your son is accurate when he needs to be accurate the most. How about the defense of the Patriots?
Oh my God,
they were awesome tonight.
They played the best game that I've seen them play in a whole bunch of years. I mean, they just were stellar. I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here today if they didn't play as great as they did.
6-time Super Bowl champion. I can't even imagine what that feels like as a dad.
Well, we've had an abundance of riches, abundance of grace on this stuff, and they are, all you want to ever do is see your kids realize their dreams, and to see this one, our son, to realize his dream in the sport that he loves more than anything in his life, except maybe his family. We just kind of shake our heads and say, thank you, God, thank you, God.
And we're all hoping that he's coming back next year, right?
He said there's zero chance that he won't he will retire, so I have to expect that he'll be back.
I hope so, for all of our benefits.
Thanks. Boom.
Except for
Very
the other
much.
31 teams in the league, that's for sure.
I know. I understand that, too.
Thank you so much, Tom. He could have been a Montreal Expo also. This could have been a completely different story. Instead, it's 6 Super Bowl titles. Tom Brady and the Patriots do it again. They're still here. Tomorrow night here on CBS Sports Network, it is the premiere of The Team That Wouldn't Be Here, the story of first responders saving the life of an NFL coach. That's coming up on CBS Sports Network. Welcome back here on the field. Super Bowl 53 is in the books. The New England Patriots, Super Bowl champions once again. Dietrich Wise Jr., part of a defensive line that had a lights-out performance, held the second highest scoring offense in the NFL to 3 points. You are a Super Bowl champion, my friend, and this was an all-timer by your group.
Well, thank you very much. Just want to give honor to God for giving us the opportunity to be out here, and it was an awesome feeling. I don't know.
You don't know what to say.
It's $1 million smile as well.
I got a question for you. So all week long we're hearing about Tom Brady and this chip on his shoulder, talking about I'm still here or we're still here, and this whole thing. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm in the defensive line room of the Patriots and I'm listening to about Ndamukong Suh or Aaron Donald, about how great that defensive line is, how motivated were you guys by the fact that nobody was even talking about you guys?
Well, it was very motivating. Thank you, Coach.
Good job.
I appreciate it.
Good job, man.
It was really a testament to this guy right here, Coach Flo. He pretty much did everything.
That's going to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
That is.
He didn't be shaking his hand anymore.
Hey,
that might be the last one.
I'll still shake his hand, but it was awesome, though. Big testament to this guy, Coach Brandon Daly, Flo, Belichick, for having a game plan set up, and it was pretty much a do your job type game. From start to finish, our defensive line, we told the whole team, and the team told us that it starts up front, and if we can control the game, the outcome will be in our favor, and that's what we did.
4 sacks, 12 hits on Jared Goff.
Yep.
And again, I would think that you guys were highly motivated to make an appearance tonight. Not only just make an appearance, but actually make a statement.
Exactly. We wanted to prove everybody that we came to play. Like you said earlier, it was all about the offenses, both offenses, and actually the Rams defense. But no one's talking about us, so we just kept quiet, moved through the playoffs, and when it was our time to shine, that's what we did.
The last 2 weeks, you shut out the 2 highest scoring offenses in the first half, as Coach Coward just said. An awesome performance. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
When you get drafted by the New England Patriots out of Arkansas, what's your first thought? What did you think you were stepping into?
Well, I actually didn't know what I was stepping into. When I first walked into the locker room, all I knew is Belichick, Gronk, Julian, and Tom.
That's enough.
And then also my old teammate Trey Flowers. Yep. So I knew it was going to be a great team I was stepping into. I really just wanted to prove to them and myself that I belong on the team, and I wanted to give them everything I got since the first day I walked in.
You're at the pinnacle now.
Yes,
You're
sir.
at the top. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
Dietrich Wise Jr., a Super Bowl champion. joining us here on the field in Atlanta. We still have a lot more to do as we continue our coverage. Back upstairs to JB.
All right, Iron Eagle, and as we were listening to the guys talk about that defense, Bill, let me start with you again. Again, the prognosticators, the so-called experts at the top of the season, this is the year to get the Patriots. They're weak, they're slow on defense, but again, that proved a false narrative.
You know, when you look at all these players, they all play different positions. They're interchangeable. You think about when Patrick Chung went down. You know, Deron Harmon came in, and you know what? Deron Harmon made couple big plays in that second half. He broke up the pass that Brandon Cooks actually got ahead of Gilmore on, and he put the pressure on the interception. So you think with all the things you're doing, the idiosyncrasies of this defense, yet you always see, and you said, Phil, is Devin McCourty out there? Is J.C. Jackson out there? No, who's this other guy? We're going down the roster and looking up numbers. But that's what he does. He does it early in the season. He interchanges people into different parts because when the season goes on, it really does become a battle of attrition. So having the ability to have other players step into other positions and not have to lose what you're doing philosophically.
He's not going to let an injury derail the season, and that's why they do that. I think that's one of the reasons why they do it, but it works well. And Dietrich Wise and Trey Flowers, I know why they were drafted by the Patriots, both from Arkansas, because they both have the same body type. And it's exactly the kind of guy that Bill Belichick likes on the outside that can do dual things. Now, let's think of this, JB. What do the Patriots always try to do every game?
JB, you can answer this one now.
You got it. What do they try to do every game?
They try to confuse
Take away the teams.
No, you know what I was going to say? Impose their will on the other team, but go ahead.
Take away the team's big weapons. What did it
masterfully
do? Well, how about Aaron Donald tonight? Did they let him wreck the game?
Right.
No, they did not. He had one quarterback pressure. He did get 5 tackles. And, so that's one thing they did. On the other side, I know they wanted to make Jared Goff have to make tight throws down the field. Young quarterback. He's not the most accurate guy in the NFL right now, and they did exactly that. How many times did he throw a ball going across the field where somebody was coming from the other direction and almost picked it off? 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and not just tight throws and tight windows, but under duress all game long. The season for the Patriots defensively has been filled with them mixing guys around, those positionless individuals, but also they're blitzing. They blitz just under 40%. And guess what? This is supposed to be a passing league, right? With great quarterbacks, young and old. And they sent blitz every single game and kept the pressure on all these QBs.
I love it. That's great. We're talking defense. I like his name.
Bill,
hey, Coach, I got you, baby.
Bill's not going to be able to sleep tonight. He's so excited.
Bill said there is a such thing as a defensive masterpiece. That's what we watched as we take a look at Julian Edelman with the swarm following the MVP.
This sport always leaves us wanting more. A second chance, another opportunity for players to showcase their talents. And this season signals a new beginning. This year, football continues. This is the Alliance. This weekend on CBS Sports.
We on a roll.
Back here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia, as we continue the Verizon post-game show. And again, it was an outstanding performance, a defensive masterpiece by both squads. Bill Cowher says let's make sure we give credit to both squads that way. And afterwards, it was Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, talking with our Evan Washburn.
Well, Coach, I can't imagine that's ever an easy locker room to be in. A long season, you get to this point. What was your message to the guys after what was a really physical and hard-fought game?
Yeah, really, you can't say anything but love this football team, love the way they continued to compete. I didn't feel like I did nearly enough to put us in a position to win tonight, and that's where you just feel sick to your stomach. Congratulations to Coach Belichick and the Patriots. They did a great job. I definitely, didn't do good enough for this team. I thought our players gave us a chance, but, something that I got to learn from, but it's going to sting for a long time.
This is fresh, obviously, and you've got to look at things, but off first brush, what did they do defensively that stalled what you guys have been able to do offensively all year long?
Yeah, they did a great job. They played some, front structures that we anticipated, and they mixed it up, where they didn't really play nearly as much man coverage as what they had played. But, they did a nice job. And really, I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to really me not doing nearly a good enough job of putting us in positions to have success. And that's something that, you got to live with for really forever, when you get into a game like this and you make those types of mistakes. But those are the kind of things that motivate you to move forward and be better for your players, for your coaches, as you progress and go on into next season.
Well, Sean, it takes a lot to come out here and talk to us. I really appreciate it. And I know you said it's going to take a while, but you should be proud of what you guys were able to do this season.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
I got to tell you guys, I've been where Sean McVay was, and, what I saw right there is a leader. When they win, he deflects the praise, and when they lose, he accepts all the criticism that goes with that. And I know you've talked with him, Nate. You got to know him, and I have not had the opportunity to sit down with, but the one thing I will say about him, he cares about his players. And, his players know that, and players won't play for you unless they know you care. He puts a person first, and when he does that, the player is second. And I'll tell you, this guy is going to be a good coach for a very long period of time. He understands the culture you need to build. He understands the responsibility he has. And you would love playing for this guy. And anyone that ever has played for him, I can only imagine, they feel like they let him down tonight as well. And he'll learn from this.
Yeah.
Again, he says they didn't play as much man as he thought. Again, if he talked about going against Bill Belichick, be prepared for the unexpected. And, and that's part of going down this journey, because every game you go, you're going to get a little bit better opponent, and it's going to be the different things you're able to do to be able to, again, acclimate to the style of play you have. It's adapt and adjust, and you know what? Sometimes that takes experience to do that. And he's in his second year. It's a really, really good football coach. These guys will be back.
Unfortunately for Sean McVay and the Rams and the NFL in general, there's no second place. We celebrate champions. So there's going to be a bitter taste in their mouths until next season. But I would hope that he feels good about what he's accomplished his first couple years. When you think about his first year as a head coach, they get knocked out the playoffs. And then during the pep rally this year, right before they take their trip to the Super Bowl, they said, I wanted to win a playoff game. Check. I wanted to get a first-round bye. Check. I wanted to win the NFC Championship. Check. Now there's one more check, which is the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that box is unchecked. Maybe next year he'll get it, Phil.
Well, I can't wait to see what kind of coach he is next year, the way he changes his football team. I think he realized here late in the year the NFL's tough, the razzle-dazzle. Sooner or later, you got to punch the other guy in the face. We saw that with them, but it might have been too late. With the Patriots, they've been doing that all year long. And my last quick thought is Wade Phillips. Bill, I said to you, can he still do it? And, man, did he prove it. He came out and had a game plan, confused Tom Brady, took away their running backs, did a lot of great things. They just didn't stop maybe Julian Edelman. That'd be it.
And one last point, there's going to be a lot of roster changes on this team.
Good point.
One-year contract. But I'll tell you, Les Snead and him, they work hand in hand, and I think that's a great combination.
Yeah.
Certainly pleased that we're giving some credit where it is due, and we talked about Wade Phillips. Certainly he deserved that for sure. When we come back, we'll wrap it up from Super Bowl 53.
The Verizon postgame show is sponsored by the team that wouldn't be here. Airing tomorrow at 9 p.m. on CBS Sports Network.
As we get to wrap up the Verizon postgame show, my guys are wishing they had another hour to talk football, but we don't. So with that in mind, let's go and listen to Julian Edelman as he talks with the press.
He's helped me so much. He's been a huge part, mentally, just kind of coaching me up and just through his actions and how he is as a football player, as a professional, as a father, as a family man. It's pretty. It's an honor to get to play with a guy like that. He's got 6 Super Bowls now, so that's pretty insane.
Well, since Nate has been battling the folks on Twitter, substantiating
That's his fault.
position, I know. So we're gonna
Julian Hall of Fame.
we're gonna start with
You know,
Go
sometimes
ahead.
I don't even know what Nate looks like because all I see is the top of his head.
Hey, man, I'm a new generation analyst. I'm always on my phone.
I
That's
hear
all
you.
right. That's good.
Final thoughts.
I
Go
enjoy
ahead.
it. Listen, the NFL, I think we learned once again, it's the greatest reality show on TV without question. Look at all the new stars we saw come in the league this year. We got to see Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Baker Mayfield. It goes on and on. So this league is on an upswing big time. And tonight's game, 13-3, I thought it was extremely compelling. I thought it got to a point where each team, they had a hard time making a play because they were afraid of making that mistake. Even the play calls, I thought, were tough for the coaches.
You know, I thought this year in the National Football League was one of the best we've ever had. You talk about the new generation, Nate. The new wave of football we saw early in the year with the Kansas City Ram game, 54-51. But what you saw was kind of old school football having sustainability. And I think, you know, the greatest thing about our game is there's so many different ways of getting it done. But the bottom line is you are on a journey, and you're formulating your team as you go through it. And to go through the National Football League, it takes 5 months of playing football, finding out about each other, and finding a way to peak at the end. And we see Bill Belichick doing it year in and year out. But you know what? There'll be someone else that's going to find a way, whether it be Sean McVay, learning from these experiences. But I just love the different elements that the game presents itself, so many different facets of it, and so many different ways of getting the same job done.
When it comes to accomplishments, if you're going to be addicted to something, be addicted to success. Everything parallels society. Take that as a lesson. The Patriots have accomplished so much, and those players, those coaches, were hungrier than ever. Never become complacent. Learn from them.
One of the quickest wits I've ever worked with in sports would be our co-host, Ian Eagle, as we head downstairs to get his final thoughts along with Boomer.
All right, JB, thank you so much. Amazing to think, as tight as this game was, this is the largest margin of victory for the Patriots in a Super Bowl, and they get it done once again, Boom.
You know, I just want to say something about my teammates here at CBS. You see what I got to work with up there?
Yeah, I just got a taste of it.
They are great. We had a great Super Bowl 53. We did Super Bowl 50 together. This is fun. This is an honor to be with you and JB and everybody associated with CBS Sports, CBS, and, of course, the CBS Sports Network. And I'll see everybody tomorrow morning right here at 6 a.m. from my studio in New York City.
What a perfect transition, JB, as we say goodbye down here on the field. Back to you.
Ian, can I say thank you for providing the smile? It was a perfect transition to his show, right? Is that it? Hey, folks, that wraps it up for us. For Phil Simms, Coach Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, and Twitter. Folks, we thank you so very much for tuning in to Super Bowl 53 right here on CBS and the CBSN postgame show brought to you by Verizon. Folks, thank you so very much. We'll see you next year right here on CBS.
CBS Sports thanks you for watching this special presentation of the National Football League, Super Bowl 53.